Hello and welcome back to the Out of Mana podcast. This is episode 38 with me, the real Shiesty, and my good and fantastic sexy friend, Joshua Cast. We're here to talk about, well, I'm not too sure where it's going to be a big surprise today. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, MySpace, Facebook, High Five, OnlyFans. No, I don't know about OnlyFans, but
I'm
you can
surprised.
find us on all those different social media platforms. Wait, what was that, Josh? Did I leave something out?
No, I'm just surprised the name Hi-Fi is in social media yet.
It actually is. It used to be. There used to be one called High Five,
Was it
highfive.com. Yeah,
really
I swear to you. Yeah, it was just hi5.com.
interesting?
No BS.
I don't
No
remember
BS.
any of that.
Yeah, it was like I think it was like after MySpace, maybe before or while Facebook was around. But yes, it was a real thing. I didn't make that one up. But all that said, yes, it's episode 38. Josh, how are you doing, my good friend?
I am doing really good. Suffering from
Awesome.
minor allergies and some internet complications, but that this week has been pretty good for me.
Nice, awesome. Same with me. I Since our last pod, I had let's see, was it Friday? Friday, what did I do Friday? Oh my god, I can't remember. Okay, Friday might have been nothing, but then Saturday, I went to some like outdoor like climbing thing, like climbing towers, and then there's like a zip line at the end. It's like just like an outdoor adventure thing.
Mm.
I did that for about 2 hours. It kicked my ass. I was very sore, mostly my upper body, forearms. I think that was because I was like overcompensating and using my upper body too much, where a lot of the different, dare I call them exercises, but I think some of them you probably should have used a little bit more lower body strength. Since I was just like overcompensating, yeah, my like upper body was just like, oh fuck, I'm so much pain right now. And so that was my Saturday morning, and then evening I what did I do evening? Man, I'm just like losing it. I don't think I did much of anything because I was so sore. And then Sunday, my cousin from California is in, so we spent time Sunday as well as Monday. Went out to Indiana to visit my aunt with my cousin. So just a lot of family stuff. The weekend was pretty. I guess you could say in some capacity action packed. I also continuously played Zelda some more. Still haven't been streaming WoW. I made a tweet yesterday. I believe you had saw it. I had finally finished the story yesterday. I don't know the exact time, but I know I got over 125 hours
And
played.
I disagree with your statement. It's not the best Zelda
It's the best Zelda ever.
ever.
And afterwards, when you like reload your save file, you finally get your percentage.
Mhm.
And I was a little shocked, actually, believe it or not, to see my percentage because I was actually expecting it to be lower.
And it was at
But
72%.
no, it was 52.84, which is just over half. But I still thought that was good, as crazy as that sounds. So, my other friend, he asked me, he's like, so you're looking to 100% it? And I'm like, probably not. Like, once again, failure on Nintendo's part, there's no incentive unless I don't know what the unlockables are for doing certain things at 100%, right? I don't know if they're worth. I just remember Breath of the Fire not being worth. So we'll see. But I'm not. We're not. Or I don't know. I don't think we're really going to talk much Zelda today. But just still keeping it spoiler free. The whole culmination and kind of dare I say full circle of the entire game was truly awesome. I was very happy with the ending. I almost like marked out and like loudly cheered, but instead I cheered with the tears of my eyes. I don't know if that was part due to, oh no, I'm done with the game, or also part of what the conclusion was. So yes, I was very happy with it. Very, very, very great game. Just damn, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to experience Final Fantasy 16 still. Another thing too, just before we went live with the podcast, Apparently, Diablo 4 is now live, so I'm gonna try that afterwards. I'm not probably gonna put a lot of time invested into it, but I did buy it, so I guess I will try it. And yeah, so now I'm gonna go heavy back into WoW for 3 weeks, see what I can accomplish, and Final Fantasy 16 is right around the corner. Um,
Yes.
I'm
When
looking forward to that one.
that comes out the 16th, right?
22nd, I thought.
That was much sooner than that.
Now you're gonna get me to Google it. Yep, it is 22nd. But now, probably a week before that, there's talks or hints or what have you of them. Well, they already confirmed they're gonna release a demo,
I think it's already
and
downloadable right now.
I believe you are right. I believe I did encounter that through social media, but it's not live yet, right? So, and then whatever you do on that carries over. I don't know. I might do it. I might do it. I just don't like the fact that I would start something that I may, uh, dare I say, heavily get invested in and then have to wait. Like I did it with Octopath too, but I felt like that was fine. But I don't know if I really want to do that with this game, but we'll see. Other than that, yeah, that was like my kind of my, I guess, review of my week in between podcasts. No new games, nothing like that still yet, but yeah, pretty heavy with the family bonding aspect of the week, I guess, which I don't get too much of since a lot of my family is no longer local. So
So since this was Memorial Day weekend,
yes,
did your week feel so long to you?
it's funny you say that. Normally, 3-day weekends fly by, and you're like, "Ah, they're always so fast," right? I actually concur with what you just said. I wouldn't say it was like too long. I thought it was just the right amount of time.
Like obviously, it's weird how time is perceived depending on like what you're doing. Like, I was having fun this whole weekend. I was just
Mhm.
busy. Like,
The
right,
weather was like perfect.
yeah. But Saturday I was doing a lot of housework outside. Fixing the backyard, doing some things, and then also just going out to stores and all that stuff. Saturday felt like it was easily 48 hours. It felt extremely long. But of course, I was up since like 5:30, and I stayed all the way up until like 11 o'clock at night.
Hmm.
So the whole day just felt forever. And then Sunday, same thing. Like, up early, making food, getting ready to go to a Memorial Day party with the family, and
Nice.
then got home until like same thing, 10:30, 11 o'clock, and that felt like it was another 48 hours. And then that lasted up until maybe Tuesday, which is nonstop activities. And then after Tuesday, Tuesday night and Wednesday were just all gaming, whenever I could. And it just felt like this week has been like a whole month.
Nice. Yeah, for me, I mean, the weekend it was good. Like the timing of it, the pacing of it felt really good. But for me, back to Tuesday just is regular work week. So from then until now, it's just been status quo. Even tomorrow, although tomorrow the dynamic might change. I'm still trying to learn and waiting updates of text messages because my cousin still is in
Indiana.
city. Yeah. And we are probably going to hang out again tomorrow. I'm just still waiting for confirmation. So, but anyhow, yeah, good times, good fun.
I just want to know how to harness that power to extend time. Like, it's weird. It's like it happens randomly, and even when you're enjoying yourself, it just feels like the day is forever. And I would love to be able to experience it every single time.
I think it's like one major big component of that is how you mentioned, waking up early and I guess in some capacity staying up late, right? That does help a lot. I know, like my Saturday, for example, is kind of fall or was it, yeah, Saturday kind of fell into that same category because I mean, you said 5 in the morning. Me, it was more like 8, which for Saturday is extremely early. Because like I went to do the outdoor adventure thing like at our start time was 10, so that was early for me. So doing that type of activity for very early just extends your day. I used to feel that way a lot when I played golf. Is and that's why I loved golf so much, because I could go out and play, even just 9 holes, and it'll be like an hour and a half to two, but I feel like that time literally is always doubled. Like it feels like I'm out there for 4 or 5 hours, and for whatever reason, I just love that feeling. Like can't explain it. It's like time does go so much slower on a golf course. So that's why I like golf. Um, but outside of that, if I may share just a funny personal story, I was chilling. What day was it? Was it Wednesday? No, 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 because that's my soaps day. Or was it that day? I'm losing track of days. Maybe it was Tuesday. Either way, one of these last days. No, it was Tuesday. 9:38. I know the exact minute. I hear a knock on my door. I've been living here for like damn near 7 months now. No one has knocked on my door, let alone at that time. So I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, so open the door. There's like an older lady, not super old, but older, and she's like holding and petting a Persian cat. I'm like, can I help you? He's like, is this your cat? I'm like, no. Like, is it your neighbor's cat? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I know they have a dog, but I don't. I mean, they could have a cat. I'm like, wait, why? I'm like, she's like, well, I'm your neighbor. I live below you. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, nice to meet you. I'm like, okay, continue. And she's like, well, this cat was on my balcony, so I thought it just fell from above. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, that is bizarre. I'm like, no, it's not mine, and I hope you find out whose cat it is. But that just was like mind blowing. It was just so bizarre. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, random story, I know, but like it was just my mind was blown. I'm like, okay. Oh, to put some reference into this for everybody that doesn't know, I'm on the 17th floor of the building, so she's on the 16th. That's why it's even more bizarre. It's like, okay, a random cat on your balcony, 16 floors up. Like what? What?
Cats getting parkour up there. I've seen
I
videos.
know that, but like even with that, even knowing that, like
It's
that cat
still.
must be good because like one screw up. I'm sorry, I don't think a cat's gonna survive that
Well,
many
I
flights.
think it did strip because it was like, okay, I'm too tired to jump. Let's just get the attention of this lady. She'll bring me home.
You know what? You're probably not wrong. And animals are very intelligent when it comes to those things.
I just love that this lady is probably spent the majority of her night figuring out where this cat came from. She probably went down, up and down all the floors, knocking on every single door. Like, is this your cat? Like, you think she knocked on your door randomly, but like, really, she's been out there since like 7 o'clock in the morning, knocking everybody's doors.
You know what? Who knows? You probably have somewhat of a valid point. I didn't ask that those type of questions. Like, so how long have you been trying? Um, I hope she figured it out. I even asked. I was like, so are you able to like take it in for the night? And she's like, oh yeah, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, okay, because like my dumbass was like immediately thinking like a volunteering, like well, what's gonna happen to this cat?
It's funny if it was me. What I would have did was just let the cat stay in that in like the well, your I guess your apartment area, and
Hmm.
just make it like take a picture, put it on a paper, and put it on the front door where everybody goes in and out, and be like, listen,
Hmm.
if you lose a cat, come to this place. If it's not within 48 hours, the cat's going down.
Oh shit, it's evil. So dark.
I'll put some rush order on that.
Put some right. Yeah, you're right. Oh, could you imagine though if like nobody claims it? Like what the hell? Like that makes it even more bizarre.
Well, if nobody claims it, it's technically going down. Like if you give it to the animal shelter and nobody adopts it within a certain amount of time, they kill it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know. No, I mean that is those are facts. Those are harsh facts. But other than that, what about you with the? I know, like we asked, like new games and stuff. You get anything new on the shelf? Oh, you got a
Nothing,
smirk there.
nothing new on the shelf, but I've been going back to old love. So
Mm,
I put Zelda on the back burner because I've just been like the last 2 weeks since the new season of Destiny came out. I've just been playing that nonstop. Going for the new weapons. Uh, just trying to get everything done before I can take a break again and go to other games.
mm-hmm.
But I figured out a way to enjoy the game and still get everything done without feeling like a grind,
Okay.
and that's by almost, how do you say it? It's almost by like single-mindedly doing a single task till it's done and moving on over and over and over instead of doing them all at once and feeling just overwhelmed with everything. And since I've been
Okay.
doing that, all the tasks have just been going down super quick. Like recently with this new update, they add these things called red borders. It's red borders are weapons that you can craft if you get like 5 of them or so. I think they added like a total of like 15 red borders, one from a new raid or one from an old raid, one from a season, and I already have all of them done. And now I'm just working on getting my guardian rank up, and it's just been fun getting all these challenges done so quickly.
Nice. Is I thought it sounded like one of the previous like patches. You kind of had a hard time finding like a raid group and stuff like that. Is that no? Okay.
I've never see the one thing I like. Well, World of Warcraft I guess kind of has it, but the one thing I love about Destiny is that even if you're playing solo, it's not hard to find a group.
Okay.
Like if you want to do like end game activity or whatever, there's always a group looking for someone to get in, and you can just do it with them.
Cool. So I know, like, going back to the showcase, right? Like, they did show. Now, was that a trailer for a patch or a trailer for an expansion? That was a patch
So if you're
trailer,
talking about
right?
the one at the PlayStation Showcase, that's
Yeah.
for the next major expansion.
Okay. So what you're working on now is just like a major patch, right?
Yeah, like World of Warcraft, just like
Yeah,
3 point
of course.
whatever.
Yeah.
Destiny does what they call seasons, and it's every like 3-ish months
Mm-hmm.
leading up until like the next big expansion. Like the one that
Mm-hmm.
you seen at the showcase, they were just teasing it, but like the actual information isn't going to be revealed until like August 22nd for the
Gotcha.
next expansion that's coming out in February of next year.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's just fun. Plus, I think the reason why I'm liking this is that we're going back to an old planet called Titan, and we're talking to a character that we thought died. It turns out she was just hiding in an underwater bunker, talking to Free Willy the whole time, and now she's lonely, and we gotta help her.
So is this then the last major patch before that set
Oh no,
expansion, or
we got 2 more.
two more? Okay, cool.
Like I said, it's
Nice.
it's every 3 months, so this is the second one, so we have a third and fourth one on the way.
Okay, cool. Nice.
It's just weird, like obviously you and I both have games we go back to like World of Warcraft, Destiny, and all that stuff that we always play. But sometimes you get fatigued and burned down. You just have to move on to another game for a little bit, and then when you
Oh,
come back,
100%.
it's like that passion, love still like re-kicks
Oh,
itself
for
back
sure.
in.
I mean, I feel like that's basically what's going to happen right now once I dive right back into WoW, because I started Zelda right when that major patch hit, right? And I usually, historically, I guess I would say, would always hit that patch hard, right? Like day one, week one, whatever. But my love for Zelda still surpassed even WoW. So yeah, so I'm gonna pick it up like as if it's new patch day almost. But the good thing is, like, now the way the game's reconstructed, like, you don't feel like you missed 2-3 weeks and you're behind. Like, catching up is that don't I know you heard that. That's my toilet.
Oh, I thought that was like someone like screaming at the back, like top of their lungs right there. It's the
It
cat.
was actually the toilet. Like, well, I don't know if you want to talk about that or not, but so anyway, so the good thing is, like, it's easy to catch up, right? And it's going to be good to just dive right back in. However, it may be a little tough now knowing that Diablo 4 just launched, so I'm guessing or predicting a lot of people are going to now be playing that. I mean, I just said I was, and I guess I kind of buried that lead a little bit. Technically, I guess I got a new game. It's Diablo 4. Hello. So, so yeah, like you said, it's kind of easy, and it's nice to get like repassionate again so quickly or all over again.
So, I gotta ask you a question because I played World of Warcraft. I played for a long
Mm-hmm.
time, but because of Destiny, it's always been a second back burner game for me.
Yep.
Has there ever been a game where you love watching and you watch it almost every week, but you just don't play as much?
That I watch. Wow. No, actually. No. The only game that, and this, like, kind of predates streamers and such, or at least I think it predates streamers, is, and I may have shared this on a podcast once or thrice, but Back when Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2, 3 were out, I mean, I could sit there on end and just watch my brother play. Um, like, mainly because I felt he was good. Um, and I was just like, I guess you could say, enamored by him just kicking ass. So that's really it. Like I don't think there's really a game. Like once again, like it's funny that I attempt to be a streamer, attempt to be a quote unquote content creator. I am very far from it. But yet I don't really watch people except for like I'll throw you on, I'll throw my buddy Chris on, and sprinkle in a few others here and there. But I don't like sit here to try to like preview a potential game that I might be interested in. I think like my mentality with that is like I don't want to get spoiled by something, so therefore I don't want to watch it. Like right now, for example, like I wasn't watching any Zelda content. Now I feel like the doors are wide open. Like actually, I just watched the speed run that someone did under an hour. So it's like now it's like the floodgates are open. I can now enjoy any and all Zelda content. Like I've been liberated now that I've completed the game, right? So that's kind of been my mentality with like any other game. Like I guess that's like the best explanation I could give.
Maybe I
And
should re-clarify. Because
okay, sorry.
I guess the way I said it was just you watch any game, which I guess is the case. But so for me, I only watch streamers if they're friends. But when it comes to like games, I only watch them for like esports events, like World of Warcraft. The only time I watch them is for MDI, which is they do the seasonal thing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The world's first race for any raid. Like I think the world's first raid just ended like a week or two ago for the new
Yep.
raid.
Yep.
But like World of Warcraft, like I said, I don't play it that
Yeah.
much, but I do watch MDI, I do watch World's First. League of
Gotcha.
Legends, I will never play that game ever.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the gameplay, playing it myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Mm-hmm.
watch almost all the tournaments,
Gotcha.
which is weird. And the same thing with
Interesting.
Call of Duty. I also
Yeah.
watch their majors events like COD Champs coming up, and I don't play
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in that form of a question, well, the answer is still no. But over time, I have started watching a little bit more of that WoW content, but not like, uh, not religiously, of course. Like, but I'll tune in a little bit more often than I ever did. You brought up Evo, right? Like, I think I'm gonna try to watch a little bit more than that when that's out. But yeah, there really isn't a game out there that I guess captivates me to watch it, even in that type of that for contests or races or what have you, or tournaments. I don't know. I just I guess it just doesn't, because it's funny because I brought up the Modern Warfare example, so you kind of think like, oh, maybe if I watched an actual Modern Warfare tournament or something, that would be, it probably would. I could probably watch it. I just don't.
I'm gonna say if you ever do watch any kind of Call of Duty tournament,
Mm-hmm.
always wait for Call of Duty championships. Like COD Champs, or I think they call it something else. It used to be called COD Champs,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's coming up in like a week or two, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the biggest event for Call of Duty. They get like $1 million grand prize, whatever.
Mm.
So that's usually
Yeah.
when like the highest gameplay performance is ever done because everybody wants that $1 million.
Yeah. No, I mean that's significant.
But yeah,
If that's out in a week or what have you, you know what, I'll probably tune in. Like I don't think I would watch like the whole thing like you were talking about. Like I think closer to the end, right, to the finals. Kind of same thing with the World Force. Like I didn't really care about all the bosses that were getting down first. In the raid, it wasn't until like the end and started tuning in to see like the last boss part race.
mm,
It's kind of like that. Just like last week before our podcast, like I was watching a little bit of Smash Brothers. I mean, it wasn't like a huge tournament. I'm sure there was some sort of cash prize or something, but I don't know how significant it was. But I was watching a little bit of that. But that was kind of like nostalgia, right? I was like, we used to play Smash like it was your part-time job. But then, just like any game, falls off. But it's just good to see that, I guess, it's still flourishing somewhat, I guess. The people are still playing it, so
It's funny because as soon as I've been watching it for years, like Call of Duty, I've been watching for many years. Evo, I've been watching for years. League of Legends, I hate to admit it, but I've been watching it since like 2009. Which
Mhm,
it's weird for a game I never play and I hate to play. I've
mhm,
watched it for so long. Maybe because
mhm,
their scale of championship is so large
mhm,
that it feels
mhm,
entertaining to watch.
mhm.
Um, but I see a lot more people doing watch parties, and I'm like, maybe I should do a watch party as well. Because like
Yeah, I mean,
it's kicking off for a lot of people.
yeah, I mean, especially if you already enjoy watching it yourself, you know?
Hmm.
I think I will say this. And once again, I think it's kind of one of those things that's like before streamers' times, right? Like I know Blizzard themselves had held Warcraft 3, StarCraft 2 tournaments since the inception of their game, and I I don't know. I don't know if they do Warcraft 3 Reforged tournaments. I highly doubt it. But what do I know? And I don't know if StarCraft 2 is still being. Yeah, I
They
don't think
killed
so,
it
right?
off.
Yeah, I think so. So with that said, when Warcraft 3 was around, I guess pre even WoW days, I probably would have been into that. I know I probably would have been into that.
Dude, so thanks to my uncle being older and him being more of a gamer during that time, I
Mhm.
was experiencing probably one of the best like atmospheres for gaming ever. It was StarCraft, and it was one of the Korean tournaments. I think it was like 2004 or 5.
Mhm.
Probably the most hype crowd I've ever seen. Obviously, this is when gaming wasn't as known as it was because the internet was so limited still. But seeing their passion in like a what was it? I think it was like an airplane hangar. That's where they held the tournament, and like just seeing everybody like super excited and cheering and all that stuff, and obviously people were like doing like their weird makeshift stream in like 30 360p whatever, very crappy quality, but just like hearing their
Probably 240.
enthusiasm over this pixelated screen in an airplane hangar was just amazing. And you had the players coming out of their planes like they were like arriving into the land. It was
That's
pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think if Warcraft 3 was something that was hyped today, because I played a lot. I played I think more Warcraft 2 than 3, but I still played a shit ton of 3. Yeah, I probably would have been heavily into that for sure. Hands down.
It's weird. Blizzard is like one of those people that like wants to boost competitiveness, like for Overwatch as a competitive sport, World of Warcraft. Why doesn't Diablo have that? I know it's not technically a
Um
PvP game, but they have their
correct.
seasons
Oh,
that.
3, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I don't have an answer. I don't think I think they wanted to intend for 3 to have that with PvP, but it just never flourished.
Well, not
I
even with PvP. Like their hardcore seasons are entertaining to watch. Like if a whole team goes in and they progress as far as they can, and if they die, they're done.
I'm aware, but like I don't. To your point, I don't, they never posted anything, right? I mean, did they?
No, I'm saying that
No,
they
right?
had the
So
opportunity to, because like World of Warcraft they have MDI. They could have did the same thing for Blizzard, or sorry, Diablo, and they didn't.
yeah, they could have set like the min bar at like I mean I don't know what the parameters were, but I'm just pulling something on my ass like infernal times I don't know 80, right? And they go until they wipe or whatever. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I wasn't that in tune with Diablo 3. I'm like I said, I'm gonna give Diablo 4 a handshake here, and 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 just test it out. I don't see myself getting indulging in it, but who knows? And I don't know what the future holds for it. To your point, Diablo's always been an extremely popular franchise for them, so um, find a way to get into the competitive scene. I agree with you, and maybe this is the one. I don't know how, but I know the one thing they are doing right now, and I don't know if you read, but they're doing some. That's why I guess it's like crazy popular right now because they're doing some. I forgot if it's the first 100 or first 1,000 people to get max level in hardcore mode. They're making like a statue for them with their nameplate on it, but it's stupid. It's stupid. Hold on. I think it's cool, but the stupid part is supposedly the statues are only going to be used internally. They're not giving them to the actual people, and they're
Oh,
like
that's lame.
built. Huh? I know, but like they're like when BlizzCon comes around, they're gonna bring them to BlizzCon so they could finally, I guess, go see at BlizzCon and shit like that. In some way, it's still cool to be immortalized a little bit, but who knows? Maybe after a couple years go by, they end up mailing it to those people anyway. I don't think they're just gonna like throw it away, but who the hell knows? I mean, hey, I got this cool statue back here for being a 10-year subscriber, so I would like to think at some point they give it to those people, but now that I don't know if you that's kind of similar to MDI a little bit. It's like a race. I guess that's why so many people are playing it right now because they want to hopefully be those people. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's a very good question. I concur. They should find a way, and maybe Diablo 4 they do.
Yeah, especially since hardcore is, well, hardcore. You die, you lose that character, you gotta start
And that
right
and
over
that
again.
exactly, and that's what I'm gonna play going in like totally cold turkey because I didn't play beta. I didn't watch anything. Very little did I watch, but gained absolutely nothing from it.
What character you gonna be? Because
I
usually
have
I
no
go to like a
idea.
barbarian or something, but if a
Barbarians are.
necromancer's there, that's my character.
I did what in 3 I played Demon Hunter. I think that was the name of the class.
I can't
or
remember. I
or
know they had like
Demon.
shaman or something like that, and barbarian.
I can't remember, but I don't know. I know nothing. I legit am going into this game whole turkey.
It's funny. I was really interested in Diablo 4 because I played Diablo 2 a little bit on PC a long time ago. Diablo 3 I played back when it came out for PS3 and 360. But I only played that because it was co-op with friends. You could play 4-player co-op on PlayStation. And I was like, if I had friends to play like a full 4 for Diablo 4, I would probably pick it up. But because I had no one, I was like, all right, I'll let it slide. I'll pick it up on sale.
Yeah.
But seeing how they did Diablo 3, I'm almost hesitant to do that because I'm not sure if you played Diablo 3 on console or if you played on PC. But eventually, as the years went on, they had the complete collection where it's like the Eternal Collection or whatever, and it just gives you that expansion pass and the character. I'm like, it
Mhm.
only takes like a year or two for that to come out, and then you're done.
Mhm.
Like, should I
Yeah,
wait
give
or
or
should I
take.
get it?
Yeah. I think though, based on a little bit of footage that I saw for this game, it's it's not an MMO, but like it seems like it's having somewhat of an MMO approach to it. So it'll be interesting to see how this evolves because they could probably easily like grow it in that capacity where it's not like one or two expansions and then closure. Maybe they could just keep pumping it and pumping it and pumping it and pumping it.
So, what would you classify Diablo as? Would you consider it like a looter dungeon crawler?
The previous ones, yes. I think this one is functioning differently. I think there's still going to be like randomized dungeon crawling aspects to it, but I think this one they're really trying to make it RPG-ish, um, where there is like a open world map, and you are actually revisiting certain areas and congregating and stuff of that nature. I think once again, this is coming out of someone's mouth that hasn't played it or watched much of it. I'm just kind of somewhat talking out my ass a little bit, but just to briefly and a little bit that I saw, that's kind of what I'm gathering. Um, but yeah, like it seems more adventurous versus to your point. Like yeah, Diablo 3, you could like speed run it like through the main part of it like pretty quick, and that was the concept, right? You want to go kill bosses for loot, right? And just hopefully you get that roll, that randomization roll for your set piece that's best. And you just keep doing that. You keep hitting your head against the wall until you get something that's comparable. I don't know if that's still the case in this one. I'm assuming there's a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see.
So, I had this idea a little bit ago because Blizzard has one of the most unique worlds I've ever seen, and unfortunately, they're all top-down games that you don't feel like the immersion. World of Warcraft, you can go first person; it feels really big, if you do it that way. But since they have Overwatch, I feel like they can make a first person like version of the game where they release in expansions. Obviously, the world will be a little bit more limited because how granted will be. But imagine like Diablo's like set in like with like the Witcher gameplay. Like you have the
Yeah,
whole Diablo world, but then you got Witcher, like where you're just third person over the shoulder, hack and slash and doing all this stuff, and moving forward throughout the land.
so it's third person because that's what I say. Like I've never played The Witcher, so I'm not in tune to how it plays. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I mean, you technically could zoom in Diablo, I think, but it not that far in. But like,
But you also don't get that like POV where you're like, you always get like the top down view unless you
yeah,
go in. I'm talking about
yeah,
like you actually are in the, you're
like
you're
you
the
feel like you're in
character.
the embodiment of
Yeah, because I feel like if that was the case for both World of Warcraft and Diablo, it'd be the best selling games of all time, even more than what they already are.
Well, for a while, that would be, in my opinion, that'd be a really tough feat because that would be a whole new level of challenging when you're trying to dodge abilities and stuff. Like that would be extremely difficult.
The only if they like somehow team up with the people that make Elder Scrolls Online and make that into like a like a World of Warcraft game, I think they could do it. Or like a Smite, like if they partner with
I mean,
Smite and they do
I
the
agree with you.
characters.
I think they could do it. Like I think the way you would have to reconstruct boss battles and stuff was like you would have to have the boss give you like a tell, right? Like it's like you would then maybe pay attention more to the boss's movements or its casting rather than overhead, you know, acknowledgments of this and that. I don't know. Like I think to your point, anything is doable, but that's not the intent.
I
Now
I know,
Diablo,
I know
it's
it's
a little
not.
bit more hack and slashy, right? So I think uh, that would be more attainable. But oh, what's that? Is that
There's
your
people
Alexa thing?
outside. No, there's people outside.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, a bit. It's worse at night.
Yeah, but I think that's the first I've ever even heard of it. That's why I was like, whoa, man, it sounded like your Alexa was talking or something.
No, it's just people talking outside. They just get loud.
But yeah, so like, we'll see what Diablo holds. I am going to play hardcore, that's for sure. But I'm not looking to go hardcore, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, that's for a while. But speaking of hardcore, like I don't know if I brought this up previously on the podcast, but segueing, I guess, right back into WoW. Allegedly, they're thinking of doing classic hardcore servers, which I'm I might dip my toes into that.
I hope they keep it. I hope they do it separate than vanilla, and they let you either clone your character or completely start over. Because I know there's a lot of streamers that are playing classic and they're setting their own challenge where they just play and then if they die they delete.
But
But
are oh yeah, sorry, go.
I'm just gonna say I hope they don't make it like a permanent thing where it's like all vanilla is hardcore.
Oh no, I don't. I couldn't imagine that would be the case. I think they would still want to cater to those that don't want to play hardcore for sure. I think they would be separate servers.
I don't know people that have the time to do hardcore over and over and over again. They're a different breed, man. Like obviously, they master the mechanics to the point where they can get so far. Just all that time and progression just completely obliterated for nothing. Just sucks to me.
Well,
Sucks to me.
not nothing. I mean, to your point, they did that as a personal challenge, right? So that was their personal choice. And I get what you're saying now. If Blizzard wants to like all of a sudden like, oh, let's make it official, let's do our own servers, and who knows, maybe they'll do the same thing they did with Diablo here, right? Where it's like first 100 or 1,000 people get that same treatment. That would probably really then give me a boner and try it more more than I would want to. But yeah, the people that have done it already, that was just a personal feat of strength, so to speak, pun intended.
I wonder if they ever get like depression, like if they've been with the character long enough. Like I know there was a guy in Diablo 3, that had his character for 3 seasons in hardcore, and then his game lagged, and his character died, and you could see he was just crying on stream. I felt so bad for the guy. I wonder if there's been more people like that where they play hardcore and their character dies for some stupid reason,
Oh, I'm
and they just
certain.
get that depression from it.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine, but if I'm gonna enter this field, one day I may imagine it or will feel it. Yeah, that would fucking suck. Honestly, which is, dare I say, probably a reason I should avoid it. But like, I don't want to say that would make me hate the game, but I will say this: I would be one and done. Like hypothetically, let's say I got max level and dare I say progress or what have you. The moment that were to happen, it's just like retired. I'm done. I'm done. Now I'll go back to my retail game for sure. But like with that component, like in all honesty, I think if I hit max level, that would be it. Anyways, I'll probably still be done and retire because not to say that's the pinnacle, but like because pinnacle would be like, oh, if you can actually like do a raid and not die, like holy shit, like that's like wow. But
There has been groups that have done
oh,
that, and
I know,
it's amazing to watch. Like you see, like
it's
30 people go in, and then next thing you know, you got 15 people come out.
it's and then they can't, and then they have to wait for them to get back up, and they can't even do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is incredible, incredible.
that's like the ultimate role playing like experience.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I mean, you want to talk about camaraderie, right? Like guilds nowadays that do like mythic content, obviously have pretty, I would think, pretty good camaraderie, especially these world first. But those, like, I think in some way, like they have an edge already anyway because they've experienced the content, right? So they kind of have expectations. But I would love to see it, although it'll probably never happen. I guess you could say it's going to happen right now with Diablo, but going in without knowing anything, going in without knowing end boss mechanics and et cetera, et cetera. That's where I think it's even more impressive. Like you don't know what's going to happen. Now you could probably first experience it in retail, right? Non-hardcore, right? So you could kind of create that level of expectation. But I would love to see it without that prep. That would be amazing.
Have you ever seen hardcore in season 3? Like have you watched any streamers at all?
Season 3 of
Oh, sorry. Have you seen any hardcore, gameplay in Diablo 3? I should say.
oh no, I did not.
So a long time ago, like I said, the guy I was talking about, his
Mm-hmm.
name, I believe his name was Gideon. He doesn't stream anymore because there were some other things that Blizzard did to him that was unjustified, and they banned his account for false reporting, and they never reinstated him. So he kind of just gave up. But one of the things that I watched him and some of his friends do that was amazing to me is that when they played hardcore for these seasons and they progressed, is that when they went through these dungeons, they kind of scouted and then they backtracked, and then they planned, they made sure they had the items, and then they went back in and they try to chip away at it little by little, and they work it because what was it, I believe Diablo 3 had like a spawn system where if they did a certain amount of enemies, a certain amount of boss will come at you. And they were always preparing for the set ads that were gonna make their pathing, and then they're going to wait for like those extra random spawns like the boss coming or mini boss coming at you. And it was just cool watching them like slowly get info on their path forward, and then moving back to regroup, going forward to actually assault them, and then wait for like an unexpected thing to pop up. It's pretty cool.
That's gonna be me playing this game. Like I'm gonna be stupidly passive because like I said, I feel like I wasn't like really looking forward to this game anyway because I mostly play WoW, but I bought it because there was the free WoW goodies, so I'm the sheep, right? But that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be extremely passive. I'm gonna be like trying to pull one enemy at a time or one small group at a time, and hope for the best. And I'll probably honestly just give up the moment I die. Unless I die like at level 5.
You don't even make it out the intro.
Yeah, exactly. Like okay, I'm done. but yeah, I think it's fun. I know it's not the only way to play, but I like that. I like that concept so much. That's why, like, even for 3, because I think when 3 first started, I might be wrong on this. Someone would probably fact check me, but I don't think hardcore mode existed immediately for whatever
No,
reason.
I think it took like almost 6 months for it to
Okay,
come out.
so I was right then. Yeah, so like, with that said, when it finally did come out, I was like, oh yes, awesome. And matter of fact, if I log on, I probably still have. I don't think I ever reached max level, but I think I had a barb because barbs were like the easiest ones. Probably like in the 30s or 40s, and I think what the max was at the time, 60 or 80. I can't remember now, but I think it was 60. But times change is probably different now. But so yeah, I think I love that concept. I really do. I think it's great. I think to your point, it is the ultimate RP, right? It's like you're investing in this one character, right? You die, you die. Game over. Roll new life. I
Yeah.
think it's great. I think it's great.
The one thing I think is really funny, and this is Blizzard has found a way to make greed cap like, the ultimate experience. They have the best form of cross promotion I've ever seen. Every game you buy always connects to World of Warcraft. You
Yeah,
buy something there, you get a cosmetic for World of Warcraft. It's like if you're a true World of Warcraft fan, you almost feel like you have to buy them just to keep up so you don't miss on that collectible thing. If you don't get it, you're never gonna get it again.
it's very true. However, even though, like I just said, I'm a sheep and I got this one right, believe it or not, there has been previous other Blizzard IP content that I still didn't buy into, and I didn't get the WoW goodies. So yeah, they may come as a shock, and now I kind of regret it though.
You're like they're so good. Did you get the Heroes of the Storm one though?
Why do I want to say that one was a free one? I
So
believe that one was a free one.
they had a pet and a cosmetic thing, but I think one of them was free. The other one you had to buy for the premium edition. I can't remember which one it was. I know
Yeah,
Hearthstone was free. Hearthstone had the
Hearthstone was
Hearthstone.
free. Hearthstone had the mouse as well. Um, yeah, I don't remember Heroes, but I do want to say I probably have whatever it is. But I thought it was free. So the ones I know I didn't do were StarCraft collector's editions
And Overwatch.
and Overwatch. I didn't do Overwatch, and also Diablo 3's expansion. I think those are the three that I was missing. That, like I said, I somewhat regret it. Who knows? Maybe they'll release it again now because it seems like they're releasing a lot of old stuff. Although none of it has been collector's edition stuff, so maybe they won't. I don't know.
Uh, it sucks that Blizzard doesn't acknowledge the console ones as like part of the collection. Like I bought Diablo 3 and Reapers of Souls for console, but they didn't give me that um the cosmetics for World of Warcraft.
Really? That doesn't make sense because don't you still use the same battle tag?
I think the PS3 was different during that time. I don't think they had that fully integrated. You gotta remember, Diablo came out in like 2000. Diablo 3 came out like 2011 or 12. I don't think they had that full cross connection thing yet.
Hmm. Maybe. Yeah, you might be right because I remember even Nintendo Switch got Diablo 3, and I remember they had the exclusive,
Oh, they got that
like
many years later.
they had like exclusive Zelda stuff, and I was like, but it still wasn't enough. So
Well, they only had it for the Switch though. They didn't go
correct.
over to like World of Warcraft.
No, 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 no.
I'm saying when I
Uh,
bought the when they did the promotion for Diablo, there's like if you buy
yeah,
this, you get this for World of Warcraft.
yeah,
You didn't get anything for World of Warcraft if you bought the
yeah,
console version,
yeah.
which
That
sucks.
sucks. Yeah, no, it does.
I,
But I
I,
don't know why. I felt like because you still needed a BattleNet account and that they were linked, that you would get it.
well, you also have to remember that, like I said, this was in the early days where cross connection wasn't a thing. Like I think
Yeah.
the market for Diablo 3 is still up while they took the market down for PC and PS4 and all that stuff.
Interesting.
Because didn't they have like a trade market on Diablo 3 that they took away
Yeah,
because people were actually using real money to pay for it?
yeah. Well, that was across, or was it across, or was that PC only? I mean, I play on PC, so it's hard for me. It's hard for me to say. But yes, they did take that off, and then that's actually when I stopped playing because I'm like, okay, I'm done. I mean, I only made like $300-ish, but that was still cool.
I believe PS3 and 360 had that. I know PS4 and Xbox One that was completely removed, where it was no longer in like an online market.
Interesting.
But it's been so long. Like
Yeah,
the
it
fact that
really
the
has been.
last time I played Diablo was back on PS3.
Yeah. Wow. Jesus,
Yeah.
that's cray cray.
But yeah, it's cool to see. I'm glad you're gonna play it. I will watch you. If it's on sale relatively soon, I'll pick it up myself. Maybe give it a try. Plat, dude, if I get that game for PlayStation, the platinum's gonna be a nightmare.
Oh, probably. I'm not saying this to entice you, but I almost wish you would pick it up because I would totally just play with you right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
But
pick it up.
no, and that's fine.
Is
Because like
is it $60 or $70?
that's a very good question. I don't know. I don't know what the base is. Probably 60 is my guess. I guess I could check right now. I could hit the shop Diablo for icon and let you know.
Dude, this week is a big week for games as well. Like we're kind of sleeping on. Like we mentioned Diablo, but Street Fighter 6 comes out. I think today.
No, I don't think it's today.
It's definitely this week, but I
Oh,
think it comes out today.
standard is $70.
When does Street Fighter 6 release?
I want to say it's
Yes,
like this. Really?
today. It comes so it
Wow.
officially comes out June 2nd, but
Okay.
today's the release, like the midnight release.
Ah,
So
okay.
two big games are coming out today, and I think there's like another game, but we don't talk about it.
Oh, so actually, Diablo 4 doesn't actually release for another 4 days.
Oh, so
But I
what?
guess since I pre-ordered or whatever,
Oh, you
that's
get that
why.
3 day early access.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that right now. Which, going back to the whole thing with the first X amount of people that get like immortalized, or whatever, I
It
thought that that doesn't count for people that get it early. So now I'm confused.
now they're like, okay, well, if you pre-order, you get the incentive. You're gonna have an extra 3 days on the competition.
Yeah, no, I remember there was a lot of complaints about that, and then they came out and said no, those people, it won't count or whatever or something like that. So
that almost seems like bull because even if you have to start a new character at this very specific time, those people that have the 3 day early access already know what they're doing beforehand, so
true.
they have the
Well,
edge. So
there, true. But to counter that, the people that may not pay for early access, but are going to get the game, more than likely probably played beta, and you kind of get intel through beta as well, right? So
I hate to say this because usually I like to defend the consumer, but if they're going for like a prestigious thing like a statue, if you're not into win it pre-order right there, then you don't care enough. It should just be whenever early access comes out. That should be when it starts because everybody's fresh, everybody's doing it right then and there.
I agree with your statement, but I still agree with the Blizzard approach and making it fair because now you're also
Well,
by
it's
doing
still
it.
not fair.
It's fair to a degree. It's fairer to a degree. Like
How is it more fair when people have 3 day early access to the already official release game and then they just start over at
no,
it?
you're giving the world a fair shake at that contest. Like, yeah, yes, I agree, and you're right. People that are getting to play now get to establish a route per se, right? Without any penalty. Yes, there's an edge there, but I'm still saying like I think it's good and fair that Blizzard's waiting on it to make it official because doing it that way now you're still not forcing, but it's kind of a scummy approach to trying to sell your game. So, I'll leave it at that.
It's just funny how like fairness, we'll do it at this day, but then at the same time, 3-day early access, they get practice. Like it's like at that point you're just procrastinating, trying to reel in as many people as you can for no reason, and it's just like it should have just been day and date, for people that pre-order because they're the only ones that really care.
Yeah.
But I wonder if you don't know this, right? You don't know if Blizzard's gonna like spotlight this to see like, because I know when World of Warcraft did their classic stuff, the World of Warcraft channel had like a leveling contest, and like the actual official
Oh
page
yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of like went through all the streams and just to check out the levels. Do you
Yeah.
think Diablo's gonna have that for these guys?
You know what? They may. And the reason why I say that is because I think there's very few WoW streamers that I actually do follow, but I may not watch often, but I think they're like nice, cool people, and you know, I just like nicer people, I guess.
Is one
So
of them Hazelnut Gaming?
no, actually, I don't. Or
What?
do I follow her? I don't think I follow her
Yo, I love her, man.
actually.
She is great.
Um, but anyways, with that said, I'll see them on Twitter, and I do recall one of them stating that they snoozed on some sort of like sign up thing where I'm thinking it might pertain to what you're talking about, where Blizzard is supporting once again certain streamers, and they might be using it for that type of content. Might. It would make sense too, and that would be nice.
Yeah, because it's a once in a lifetime thing for the game.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, mm, I mean, yes, unless they also do it with different seasons again, which
at that point, it's no longer special.
no, I agree with you. I agree with you. It isn't. It
You're
isn't.
like, I have a studio full of these statues I know nothing about.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, but yeah,
that
that's a great question. I'm
that
not 100% sure.
that would be funny if they did every single season, and there's one guy that's so dedicated to the game, he gets a statue every single
Every
season,
season
and so the whole office is just a statue of him.
would not be surprising.
He does like different poses, like the statues in front of Stormwind, of the heroes. He takes
Uh-huh.
a different pose of himself
Different
as him.
pose and different like transmogger cosplay each time.
uh, that'd be funny. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I can't wait to see that. But yeah, just I think that's one of the things I'm gonna start doing because as much as I like playing games, I also like to watch things. And dude, we need to network more with people. Like it's so difficult, but like I'd love to start like a watch party of like all these games, nerd out, and just talk about it live with people. Like I think we've discussed doing showcases live. Unfortunately, I don't know why they do showcases so early in the day. Like why can't it be like a 6 p.m. thing at night?
I know that's why like I get really giddy when I don't know if you've caught it or noticed, but there's been a couple um, directs that I got to stream live because they started at like 4, yeah, 4 o'clock our time. So I
Yeah,
like race home and just like not even do anything and just fire it up and just watch it.
because that's what I
Uh,
did with the PlayStation Showcase recently. I streamed it, but like it's still like 4 o'clock is too early. Like people are still working during that time. 6, 7 o'clock is more reasonable, like prime time, whatever. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me being greedy.
yeah, no, I agree.
And why a
You, you,
weekday?
you, not only that, but you also gotta remember like, they try not to, or at least I think maybe they don't try to just cater to the Americans, and they want to give other places in the world fair shake. Because I do notice like they don't always do it the same time all the time, right? Like at least I feel like Nintendo sporadically does it. Like sometimes, yes, it's 9 in the morning,
Well, they do that
11.
specifically because it's Japan and they
No, no,
prioritize
exactly.
them.
But to that point, like I said, there has been a couple though that have been 4 p.m. So like they're kind of all over the place. I don't know if that's by design or what have you, but
It's so funny that like it sucks because the world, different time zone, different morning, AM, PM, all at the same time, and it
hmm
sucks to get that balance. But like as someone that wants to watch it in a reasonable time, you always want to go for greed, and you're like, just make it my time,
Hmm.
knowing that you're basically excluding all the other stuff that around the world. But I don't know. It's just yeah, it's like I always want to watch them and like react to them, but it's just timing is so awful.
It is. It is. And you know what else has been awful with a lot of them? They've been shitty. They've been, in my opinion, they've been pretty bad.
It's see, this is
But
the
I don't know if it's because like as a gamer throughout these years, like expectations and the bar's like so high that you just like you know because of the internet, right? You get spoiled, right? Like you have rumors, you have leaks, you have this, you have that. So it's like it already creates a level of expectation that you're like, okay, I may see this, right? And then if you don't, you're like, fuck.
I'm going to
Or
disagree
when you
with that.
or when you do, you're like, I knew that was coming. Versus like back in the day, you didn't have that.
I'm going to disagree. The only reason why I say that
Okay.
is because I feel like presentations and directs and all these showcases,
Hmm.
there's a game for everybody, and usually the game that a person's looking forward to, like what was it? I know for the PlayStation Showcase, you were not interested, but there was no games that caught your attention.
Hmm.
I know that I see people. I mean, obviously they're the minority. They're more of a select group, but like they're interested in that Cat's Quest game. That what was it? That the game made by the people that made Journey. I forgot that name. It's the one where he's surfing on sand with that
Oh,
blade.
okay, yeah, yeah,
People are
yeah.
looking forward to that. Like, I
Well,
think
I
a
didn't say I was looking
showcase is
forward to it. I
always
said it.
it's. I think it's all personal preference. Like, what you might not see as a great showcase might be the best showcase ever for someone else.
Hmm.
And that's the one thing that if it sucks for these companies that they're giving you a variety of stuff. And yes, the majority would be like, "Oh, it's not the biggest AAA game ever," but to someone that was the best showcase they've ever seen because the game they love was premiered there.
Gotcha.
And that's why I say that showcase sucks. I think that's just all dependent on your taste of games.
I mean that is always the case, right? But there's still there's still that there's still an array of games that I think transcend a little bit and extend beyond just your favorite genre of game, right? Or the ones you normally gravitate to. Um,
I think those are just the popular games, like God
well,
of
true.
War.
No, I mean they generally are, right? Like, I mean, even though I've never played like that franchise, for example, like when you see it, you're like, oh, that's fucking badass. I know a lot of people are happy. Versus like the stuff like Spider-Man, like you're like, oh, I know a lot of people are happy. Versus a lot of other stuff, I say like, I mean, once again, it could be somewhat my ignorance as well, and that's totally fine. I know like some of the Bungie ones, you were excited about, and that could be true too. It doesn't have to be the IP; it could be the studio, right? So like, you know, I just felt like a lot of the ones that I seen, like, you know, and when I was scrolling through social media, it seemed like people weren't agreeing with me. Like, I mean, like, I don't know.
Well, I never go with the what was it called, the majority rule, because the majority rule is always just a bandwagon trend set. And I hate to say that, but it's true. Like, some people are like, "Oh, this sucks," and then like a couple months later, like, "Oh, that was actually really good." And it's like the opinion differs every single time. That's why it's just like if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That's it. Move on. But like with the Nintendo Direct that happened recently, the one for the indie, no, was it the Indie World Showcase? A lot of people didn't like that. I love the Indie World Showcase. Like, I I know it's gonna sound stupid, but like there's like three games I was actually like really interested in. Like they Cats and Quilts of Calico. I was interested in that game. The Overcooked Complete Bundle I think they had. That's fun. Which I'm surprised you haven't gotten into that because you like Mario Party, and that's kind of like a Mario Party, but you do four-player cooking stuff. Um, and what was Oxenfree too? Like that was like a great showcase for me, but everyone's like, "Yeah, that's not."
Well, I mean, I think the indie, that one, I don't want to say it's misleading. It's not misleading. It's for people to have high expectations for that. To me, is just not the mindset you go into. Like it's, and I'm not trying to disparage the word indie, but indie's indie. Like it's usually not. They're not the big wigs, right? So like what are you really looking to get out of it? You're hoping to find some really good, like, oh my god, like this. I'm glad I found this. I'm glad I played it. It exceeded my expectations. And now you're kind of like backing a new company and fiending for more products from them.
It's kind of funny that like you use the word indie like they're not big, but yet at the PlayStation Showcase, for those games that are now mainstays, were indie developers like the
Were
people that made Journey, Flowers, and all that stuff. On the PS3, they were 100% a small team indie
yeah,
developer that just because the game became popular, they became a bigger studio. Same thing with that the one with the fox, the one with the girl with the red dress and the fox. They made Gris. They were an indie studio, and then that Gris became really popular. Now the sequel, and now they hired more. So it's like you can't count out indie. Like
no, and that's my point. And the key word you used there was were, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like I will say every company at some point was at that stage. Even Nintendo. Nintendo used to be a third-party developer on Atari. Let's be real. So everybody has had a spot like that in their, uh, I guess you say lifetime, whatever. So I think that's what makes it so special. Like, so to your point, like when people have the high expectations, like, yeah, because you don't know any of these, none of this is really household names, but that's the point of it. They're getting a spotlight to hopefully blossom into something.
Yeah, like I think one of the best examples of like an indie taking over the world is Among Us. Like, what was it? They were like
Yeah,
a team of 3 or 4 developers, and then
exactly.
because of how massive they blew up, I think they're like at 100 people now.
Oh, really? Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I don't know how big they grew, but but yeah, I mean that. Once again, it's kind of like, dare I say, it's somewhat of a lottery chance, right? But like, yeah, it's amazing to hear that story. I mean, and the best. I mean, I'm dare I say I'm going on a limb and saying this, but like every time I've seen those people come out and accept an award or do an interview, like they seem like so humble and so cool and so down to earth. Um, and it's just good to see, what I perceive from extreme far away, good people, good things happening to them. So,
I
and
know
it's an
you.
awesome game. It really is an awesome game. I love that game, even though I haven't played it in a long ass time. But I do actually love it. Like it's a fun game.
It's one of those games I'd love to play anytime, but nobody wants to play it.
See, it's funny. Well, you say no one wants to play it, but there's still tons of people playing it.
Well,
It's just, it's
I
like it's kind of like basically going out and finding a guild, like finding a community.
I agree. I agree. You can. There's a lot of people still playing it, and they've added levels too and more cosmetics, which is still really fun because I have it on Xbox. I also have it on PlayStation. I have it on PC. I have it on mobile because it's cheap. It's a $3 game, and that's what makes it so fun. Is that it's cheap. It's fun. Um, but for some reason, when you play on consoles, that's where I want to play because trophies and achievements.
Hmm.
When you go in there, nobody wants to put a mic on. Like when you're in a
Yeah,
public lobby, you have a
yeah,
mic on talking. Everybody's like
yeah,
texting. I'm like, I can't do that in console.
yeah.
It'll take me 7 minutes.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's so much more fun being able to talk when you're in the, uh, let's say the war room, but when you're deliberating. Yeah, it's a much different game that way or this way, and it's by far 100 times % more fun when you're conversing actually. Um,
And then sometimes you go across a person that's like way too try at the game. Like they're like, oh, I remember every single task in the game. Blah blah blah. I know who the imposter is. I'm like, that's not fun. You have to play a little bit of mind, like a little bit like a friendly banter thing, where it's like, oh,
oh,
what were you doing? Why were you following me on that stuff? That makes it more fun instead of just like,
oh,
oh,
it's
I
it's
know
it's
you
so
didn't do that
fun.
task because we didn't have parachute in this one.
Yeah, no, but those, I mean, that's a different level of,
Fixation.
I don't know, fixation wasn't the word I was thinking of, but
You know,
no,
crewmates can't fart. That's only imposters. I smelt it.
only the brown imposter shit itself. Um, but the one, I don't know if you know this, but did they actually release their VR version yet?
They probably did. Honestly, the VR seems more like a horror game than what a fun puzzle game.
I would still love to try it though on VR. I would love to try it.
Dude, that would be fun. But imagine if they had like a haptic feedback suit where you put it on your body, and when you feel someone behind you, feel like a little tap on your neck.
I don't want to have nightmares.
And you just see this big old like 6 foot dude like, in a red jumpsuit come and stab you.
Yeah, or they turn into like monsters, right? Or aliens, like
Oh
their
yeah.
big old mouth and the big old tongue comes out. Like,
Oh dude,
um,
imagine how quickly that game could be a horror game if like one they kill you, they turn you around, hold you, and then do that right in front of your face.
or when they snap your neck, your camera just like goes the other way. You're like,
It's like Liu Kang, your camera starts shifting to the right.
oh man, yeah, I definitely would love to experience that on VR. Now, I'm not gonna buy a VR just for that one game, but that would be a fun one to experience in VR.
It's funny. You know how like I always say like there's like a trend, like you know the
Hmm.
handheld trend seems to be a thing right now. The VR trend I think is starting to kick up again because obviously the PSVR 2 just came out. The Oculus Quest or the Oculus or do they call it the Quest? They have like so many different things now. But
Hmm.
Facebook's releasing the Oculus Quest 3 or
Three,
4,
I think I saw three. Yeah,
and it's like the price point of like $500, which is much
yeah.
much more, like basically double the price of the other one. And I think Valve has another one coming out soon in HTC. So it's like, are we getting another wave of new VR headsets?
It seems that way. Like it's been a while since, and I mean years since I've played a VR in a gaming capacity. What I liked about the VR, um, and it was like pretty relaxing. It's just like the simulation aspect of it, where like you could just be put wherever and just like enjoy it, like enjoy the scenery, do whatever. Like I think that component is what's pretty cool. But it's not. It's once again, it's not something that's worth for me to buy it for. Um,
One thing I do think is interesting, even though I'm not a VR gamer, that's one thing I'll never get into. But
mhm,
I've owned two headsets. I've had the one from, oddly enough, they're both on Facebook VRs. But I've had the Oculus, which you had to plug into your PC. There's two USB ports, and then there's two USB ports for like the sensors. You had to set them up, set the control thing up, and then the Quest came out, or the Quest 2. Got that one, and it's completely wireless, and it scans your whole room from the headset itself because it has like 6 cameras on like the headset lens. So
mm,
there's no need to connect it to your computer or set these weird cameras up to spot you. It just
mhm,
automatically senses your like vicinity, and you're good to
mhm,
go.
mm,
And this next one, supposedly it does even better, but now it's in like 4K, 30 FPS, whatever.
mm,
And I'm like, they're really stepping up their game, and this is like within an 8 year time span.
mhm,
Because like the first one I think was like 720, maybe 20 FPS. Like it was kind of like jittery here and there, especially
mhm,
if you played like shooter games like Pavlov.
mhm.
But now it's just extremely stable.
Yeah, I don't know what version I experienced, but I know all the games that I did play were dare I use the word crap, but it has nothing to do with graphics because like one of them that I was playing was like um I guess you could say like a co-op adventure game where you picked a class and you just like kind of like a dungeon crawler, like you could be an archer or a mage or wizard or whatever, warrior, etc., etc. And it was very Minecraft looking, but it was just so fucking fun because you're like role playing. You're first person. You're like going around and you're talking with the other people, like go get that skeleton over there. No, 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 no. Like it was fun, and like to me, like I said, graphics didn't mean shit. It was just the fact that it was having fun. Um, but like there's so many limitations with it, and I don't know when or if any of them would ever be conquered. But um, like I said, there's certain things to it that they excel at and is very good and is very fun. But the expectation is of it ever being like console gaming. I don't think will ever come to fruition.
Maybe this is only for like
Maybe for first person shooters, I could see it getting to there, but there's like a lot of games that it'll never compare to.
yeah. But what was I trying to say? You can tell when a VR game is done right, it's great. Like I'm not sure if you ever played a game called Robo Recall. So it was basically a demo that they never had a full game. So it was
Mm,
one of the demos that came with the Oculus, and it basically became a staple for all Facebook VR headsets. Best shooting VR game I've ever played.
mm,
Like the way you move is just you press the analog stick and it teleports you to a spot, and the shooting just feels so smooth. Like whenever you move your guns in the VR, it feels like you're actually doing it. Like there's no delay, there's no like offset or whatever. It's just where you point, where you shoot, and you can move side to side, and your character moves. And obviously, obviously you're grounded from like the upper torso area. That's the only part you can move. The bottom is still like stagnant, but that's pretty cool. I don't think we're ever gonna get full motion body support unless if we get like a running treadmill like we see in Ready Player One.
Mm-hmm,
And I
mm-hmm,
think that's the only hurdle that VR is really being stuck against is that you
mm-hmm.
can't walk around with that stupid headset on. And I
Yeah.
think that's where AR takes over.
Well, there was one game that I was playing. I guess it was kind of like a, how can I put it? I guess a survivor shooter type game, but it was very like alien like, and all it was like you're on a platform and you had to shoot down like just spaceships and shit, right? And you had to
And it
dodge
wasn't
their.
Space Invaders.
No, it wasn't Space Invaders. But once again, the graphics, I mean, they weren't as bad as Space Invaders, more obviously in a 3D space, but like what I loved about it was because you had to actually dodge the projectiles, which I was just like, this is so awesome. Like yeah, I have to like aim and shoot, but I also have to dick dive, dodge and wrenching. You could dodge a dodgeball, you know. Um, so I just thought the world of it. So that's what I'm saying. Like I could see first person shooters um, being extremely successful with it, but I don't think anybody's really trying to conquer that market or even test that market.
Well, one of them is like I said, Pavlov. They've been going strong
Well,
for a while.
I guess when I say that, I kind of like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nudge to like Activision with Call of Duty or something. Like I'm talking about the
I hope
big
they don't.
companies.
In order to even access the game, you have to pay like a microtransaction to have like HD vision or something like that.
So, so yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, the price point obviously is a very large turnoff still. And it's kind of interesting that it is because I could have sworn that once upon a time, and maybe it still is a goal, I don't know, but once upon a time it was said that the idea was to have one of those in every household, much like a computer, right? Um, and so far that hasn't happened yet.
If you're a moviegoer, if I was to ever sell anybody on a VR headset, it'd be if they watch movies. Because I I can't speak for the other ones, but or the Quest and Oculus, they have like a movie night, and it's like a random movie you get to view for free. It's like from a certain time, whatever, and you go in and you just sit in like you're sitting in like a movie theater, and you
Mm-hmm.
can move your head like you're in like an IMAX, and it's
Mm-hmm.
so cool because it's like you get that theater experience without being in a theater. And they also have some kind of like interactive experience where there's like some music videos and all that stuff where you actually get to partake in the video itself. Like there's certain
I'm
realms you
gonna
can
be
go
a
in.
stripper.
No, seriously, like what was it, Gorillas? They had a thing called
Oh,
Saturn bars, that you could actually go into the VR and actually play the video, and you could look around, see the characters, see the walls, see everything,
that's
and it was
cool.
pretty cool.
I like gorillas too.
Yeah, if you, I mean, even if you don't have a like a VR headset, if you have your phone, they have like a 360 version that actually still works the same way we can move around.
Mm-hmm.
But it's better when you have VR headset because you
Mm-hmm.
actually feel like you're more in there.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was gonna sell anybody, it's definitely like the music videos, the VR, there's like also like certain like virtual concerts they do too that are pretty cool where you see like other users as well, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like it's kind of fun to see that part.
Yeah, yeah. I think
But then it gets weird.
the closest I would have ever gotten to having a VR is if like Nintendo Switch had forward traction on what they were trying to do with that and the what was that thing they were trying to dish out, that Labo thing or whatever?
Oh,
Remember that
it's
thing,
stupid
the
cardboard
cardboard box
box.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really thought that was their way to segue to make a push for the Switch to be VR, but they
And it
didn't go
just
that route.
turned out to be cheap cardboard that you can get
Well,
anywhere at the
we
dollar
all
store.
knew it was cheap cardboard, but it was a cool concept at the
They're
time.
like $60 for cardboard. Slap a Nintendo sticker on, you're good.
Yeah, they know how to do it.
Such a stupid thing. Sometimes Nintendo and PlayStation need to get slapped in the head. Like the PlayStation with the handheld. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah, we won't even talk about that in this podcast.
I actually do because I'm interested in it.
Now, well, now you are because you're a weirdo.
So it sucks. Like I want a PlayStation handheld. I really do. Obviously, this one's gonna fail because like right now you can actually use remote play for like PlayStation 4, PS5, but you have to have your console on, just like the new handheld. But the disconnecting from the console happens so frequently, it's awful. So I hope that this handheld's good because if it's not, I'm gonna be very upset. But I also hope that it goes on sale because that's when I pick it up.
Yeah, it's not, dude. The only way it's gonna go on sale is if it bombs catastrophically, which it probably will. Um, Even then, it probably won't take like 8 months until it goes on sale.
Because like the reason why I'm interested in it is like I would love to be able to play Destiny on handheld while watching a movie at the same time. Like whenever I'm like doing like a tedious like task, whatever, that's just boring, I can just play that while I'm watching something else. That's the only other reason.
Yeah. Well, when did they even give a hard release date? No, right? I don't
No,
think
they're
so.
probably second guessing everything now. Like, "Whoa, we put it out there, everybody hates it. Let's reel it back in and just save ourselves some money."
For sure, for sure. Have they? I'm trying to think. Have they ever had like a really bad failure where like they just pulled the cord? Like let's go back to Nintendo for example, right? Like pass or fail, right? They've always taken leap of faith, right? So like even going back to Nintendo 64, they had that Nintendo 64, what was it called? DD, I think, and it was an attachment that hooked up underneath, and it was supposed to be a disk drive, and that failed, and I don't even know if it ever reached American shores. Um, and I'm sure there's other. I think every generation had something like even Super Nintendo. Like if you get your system, there's like a part underneath that also clipped onto something else.
Well, what do you
Um,
consider like a quick pullout? Like what's the time frame?
um,
Like is it a year, 6 months, 4 years?
well, I guess to piggyback that question is like okay, so they released you know the images of the actual model and yada yada yada. So like if they're getting just like extremely horrid feedback, would they just not even release it? I highly doubt that'll happen because they probably have so many already made.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna release because, like you said, pre-made. Um, but it's very possible that they'll pull PlayStation TV, which PlayStation TV was a good idea. They just didn't support it. Where PlayStation TV, they were pushing very hard, and in like 6 months to a year, they stopped production and it was no longer being sold.
man, I don't even remember that one.
It was like a little box, and it worked very well with the PS Vita and PS3. It was basically like that cloud service that you could
Wasn't it
put.
pretty expensive?
It was like, well, man, I guess at the time it was like
Wasn't
two
it
hundred
like
dollars.
I was about to say like 200 for a year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, to me I thought that was
it's
expensive.
shot up drastically since then
Why?
because it's a good device.
Oh,
Sony during this time they had good ideas, just never supported them. Like PSVR or PS Vita, good idea. PS TV, good idea because you can play your games on it while also watching stuff like an Apple TV. But they just decided to cut the support. Like any PS Vita game you had, you can actually plug into the PS TV and play it with a PS3 controller. Like it was a console just for $200, and you could watch TV, and you could also connect it to your other devices as well. I don't know why they cut it. There's also one of the only few ways you could actually play PS Vita on the TV
mm.
before you could mod the system.
Yeah. I really well I didn't have the Vita, but I had the PSP. Did I have the original one or the second gen or both?
There's three generations of the
No, no,
PSP.
I'm aware, but I'm just saying I can't remember which one I owned. I want to say I had one of both. But anyway, I did adore the thing. Like, I mean, at that time it was awesome because like you were able to. I was putting like all my music videos on there. Just put
Oh,
them
the
on the.
UMD little things.
Yeah, like I was. Yeah, I was loving it, man.
Dude,
Uh,
I think you and I came from a weird generation where, like, even with the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, there was like videos and TV shows you can
oh
watch, and
yeah,
same thing with the
like,
UMD,
I remember they had like Ren and Stimpy, and
SpongeBob, Pokemon.
I was gonna say maybe even South Park. I think.
Probably, I knew I watched one of
Yeah,
the Pokemon episodes on there, which was
yeah,
mind blowing that they can fit in whole, what was it, 1 or 2 episodes in the cartridge, and you
yeah,
could
something
play
like
the
that.
whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. But those were the times, man. Those were the times.
I definitely know that the one for the PSP they made it better, where it was like the UMD. Like, I think I watched like Family Guy season 2 or 3 on the
I
PSP.
was gonna say the UMDs they would normally have like a whole season put on there. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't
but
remember the
yeah, I mean,
music videos though. I know they had them, but
well,
I don't
no,
remember buying any
no,
of
no,
them.
no. Music videos I was putting on
Oh, the SD card.
correct from my
Yeah.
computer and then putting them because you had to. I think it supported MP4s. I think, or did it have a special naming
Yes.
convention? It
So
did, right?
the
Okay.
PSP was the ultimate piracy hardware because it
Mm-hmm.
accessed like online, and because
Mm-hmm.
there's a copy and download thing, you can
Mm-hmm.
copy movies on your
Yeah.
SD card
Yeah.
and watch the whole thing for free.
Exactly. Exactly. So like, I mean, that's why it was so awesome. Um, as long as you had a bunch of memory sticks. um, but
Oh man, back then the memory sticks were like the highest you can get was like 16 gigabytes.
I felt like it was even less than that. But
It's weird when you see like SD sticks now. You're like 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes. I'm like, what the hell? If you went back to like 2005, you're lucky if you even got 8 gigabytes.
yeah, shit. I think even when I started, it was only megabyte.
Yeah, I remember when there was kilobytes.
I think when 1 gigabyte happened, you're like, holy shit!
Well, dude,
The,
you
the
remember?
character changed.
Do you remember the PS2 memory card where it was like 8 megabytes? That was really big. Or the Mad Cat 16 megabytes. Like, it was this mind blowing thing that saved all the games you ever wanted. There you go. You got one of those. Which is funny how like that 8 megabyte card held so many saved datas, and you're like, oh man, this thing is massive. It's so huge. But now it wouldn't even hold like a micro, like a 1% of a game.
Like, I don't know how many megabytes the original one is because it doesn't have it. Because they were blocks, right? They weren't. It wasn't memory. They were called blocks. Like you get 15 blocks,
It was
and
two,
and
four,
your
and
and
six
your
were the original ones.
your game might take up 4 blocks. Yeah, that's why I said I want to know what I have on these. I gotta figure it out someday.
Oh, dude,
Uh,
I have actually, but I'm not even
my
gonna look
buddy
that
has
up.
my old GameCube one. We were looking at that and having a good time one day.
It it's weird looking at the memory sticks. Like, we've come such a long way,
Yeah,
and I'd
yeah.
love to be able to put those memory sticks into the new consoles and have them have a heart attack. Like,
Like
you want me to say what? That's
it's no longer
impossible.
that file name no longer exists. What? That extension is extinct.
But just like imagine like the old memory cards like talking with the new ones. They're like, wait, how much memory do you have?
Like, what is .mp1?
uh
Oh man.
Sometimes there's a benefit of like seeing the old versus new, and it's just such a hilarious transition. You're like, back in my day, we used to be happy for this, and now you got this.
Yeah, it's like I still have I don't have any floppy disks, but I do have what the hell is it called? Man, I'm brain farting what the hell they're even called, but they're like hard disks. I guess it's called a hard disk. I still have one of those somewhere. I have no idea what's on it. I don't even know how. I'm sure there is something out there you could probably buy at a computer store to read it, but I still have my mini discs from my original BlizzCon trip that I would love to get that footage off of, but I don't know how. Maybe actually, I think my laptop might have a disk drive. I wonder if I could read it.
Oh, you don't put that on stream. You don't know what else is on there.
Oh well, obviously I'm gonna preview it before I fucking just rip it and upload it.
You're like, Steve, sexy time. What? No.
Like OnlyFans.
And it's
My
just you
laptop.
in the corner dancing to
My
what's that song?
what
The
is love?
one from
Maybe
Silence
I'll
of the
hide
Lambs.
me. What the hell? Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, you know the guy that he was like, "Would you fuck me? I would fuck."
Oh no, that well, maybe that was. Well, I know that was from Jay and Silent Bob. They said that. Like,
Well,
I'd fuck me hard.
I thought that was from
I
no.
mean, it probably originated from another movie, but like, I know they say it in Jay and Silent Bob.
They do, but I think it came from Silence of the Lamb because that was Buffalo Bill that said that first.
I've never seen Silence of the
Because he
Lambs.
would do that weird like dance in the mirror
Yeah,
while putting on that
yeah,
skin suit. Ugh.
that's funny.
I don't want to look at, even think about what's on your laptop. Things that should never be seen by humanity. Ar-
OnlyFans.
Architects from 1,000 years be like, what kind of cult of demons was this?
uh, oh man. Well, what else you got?
Dude, there's so many things we can just bring up at random, but there's one thing I do want to talk about. It's the only topic we have because, like, you and I haven't really been surfing the web that much to really gain a topic. That's our fault.
Yep.
Um,
Apologies, forgiveness, please.
but one thing I've noticed is that there's two movies coming out that I'm interested in, but
I think I
only
know one of them.
is because the title Expendable 4.
No,
Oh,
I
what
didn't see
movie
the
did you
title.
think it was?
The Flash.
Oh, I'm looking for that one, but this one is for
Okay.
like movies that are bad but you still like.
Oh, okay.
Like you know they're absolute trash, but you still find them enjoyable.
Let's see. Very good question.
Hold
I
on,
mean,
go ahead.
I I I don't know if this one counts because all my friends like it, but I don't know if it would be received by masses. But like one of my favorite comedies of all time is Walk Hard with John C. Riley.
The
Um,
Dewey Cox story.
the Dewey Cox story. I just love it so much, but I don't think it's everyone's cup of tea. But I don't know if it really falls into that category though. Like I think I know you're looking something more that's probably like critic reviewed and personal reviews, like just horror bad, but I still like.
I mean,
Man,
it could be whatever, really.
yeah. I'm trying to think.
There's
Usually
another
I just
movie
watch
that
good
they
movies.
made, The Ballad of was it Buster Clayton? I think his name is.
I don't think I've seen it
But
or
it's pretty
heard of
much
it.
like this, the same kind of like comedic concept of that one.
Oh, Walk Hard.
Yeah. But the reason I bring this up is because recently, which was a funny trailer, is that there's a movie from Jackie Chan and John Cena coming out called Hidden
I
Strike.
I watched it earlier today, but without audio.
It looks so cheesy and bad
It
that
did,
I'm just like, ooh, Jackie Chan, you've fallen from grace. But I'm still gonna watch it because it
but
looks like it's gonna be stupid and it's gonna be funny.
but let's just say this: doesn't Jackie Chan still look good?
Yeah. I
Like I
mean, if
mean,
you have his money and you eat as well as he does, then you gotta be looking good. Like
hope so.
they preserve that guy like he's the next like emperor of China.
Well, he does too. Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna see that one. I guess I gotta rewatch the trailer, but with audio. Oh man, God, I know I should. I know I have something that I probably like and everyone hates, but man, I just can't think off the top of my head. Um, it's either that or like I don't watch bad movies. Um,
Oh, you definitely watch bad movies. You just like them.
it's true. It's true. But no, but to your point that's like,
Like World of Warcraft
largely
would technically be a bad movie that you like.
it depends who you ask.
A lot of the fans would like it, but when you look at the reviews, it's technically a bad movie.
Well, if you want to put that one, then go ahead and put that one.
I love it. I love the movie, but if you're talking about review scores, which that's I'm not counting that, it's
Yeah.
in that category.
No,
Sorry,
no,
go ahead.
you're right. In the Americas, it just bombed. Um, but in China, complete Apple. Although now they will probably say the Apple because they no longer have.
Now they're boycotting
No,
it because they don't have it at all.
exactly. But you loved that movie 5 years ago. What happened? Um, no, I'm trying to think. Like, man, what movies? Shit. Well, you said that one. I mean, that one kind of does fall in that category. You are right. Wasn't received well in the States. I keep going back to like, although I don't watch it. I mean, I have watched it as an adult, but I believe I shared this on stream before. But as a kid, um, when I was a little crybaby bitch, the movie the movie they would put on for me all the time was Howard the Duck, and that was the movie that I had to watch to stop crying. And that movie, historically, and even I guess you could say currently, is dog shit. Like that, people put that under like that's the movie that George Lucas doesn't claim anymore because it was that bad. Um, so I kind of want to default to that one, even though like I could say I loved it because of my childhood upbringing, which says a lot about my upbringing, by the way. If you go back and watch that movie, because I have, um, so like I kind of want to throw that one into the mix. Man, I don't know, man. You kind of got me on that one.
I can tell you my whole history is very questionable. Like, I like Adam Sandler and I like all of his movies, and
Ugh.
arguably they're all bad.
Well, I mean, he has like a cult following, right? Like Happy Madison fans are kind of a cult following. So like, I don't know. It's hard for me to
Wait,
put
are you
that
saying
in.
Happy Madison because of the production company, or are you trying to
Yeah,
say Happy Madison like Happy Gilmore and Billy
yeah.
Madison?
No. Happy Madison, isn't that the part of the studio that he like
That
always works with,
that's his. Well, he owns the production
or
company.
or owns it, whatever? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost saying like Kevin Smith, right? Like his like his fans that you might want to kind of consider a cult following. I'm a fan of Kevin Smith, so
But
he had a horrible movie that I haven't watched. That Walrus one. I don't know what the hell it was called.
oh, the one with what's his name? Daniel Radcliffe.
Was he the one that was? I don't
Hold on.
know. I don't know if he was in it. Maybe.
Maybe I'm thinking about another one.
Maybe.
It's like a guy that was like just formed, and then they kind
Yeah. Yeah. That one. Like I've never watched it, but
Walrus.
supposedly that one people shat
Wait, is it called Walrus or Tusk?
Tusk. But it's a walrus, isn't it? Or the
Yeah,
guy's like a
yeah.
walrus or some shit. Yeah, that one. Tusk.
Who's
Yeah.
in that? I've seen it. It is by Kevin Smith. Um, who's dude? I've seen that movie. It's so weird because you actually feel bad for the guy. Like at the end, he's basically crying and everybody's waving at him like it's like some kind of good thing, and he's like suffering in his walrus deformity that somebody skinned him alive and retransformed him into.
Damn.
But
Uh,
yeah,
there's another movie called Everything Must Go. Stars Will Ferrell, and I believe at the time it was his first movie in which he wasn't funny in. He was trying to play a serious role. A lot of people didn't like that one. I actually enjoyed it because I felt like everybody around him was not like laugh out loud funny, but they were the comedy relief and not him. So it was really a, like a 180, right? Um, that one didn't do too well, but I still enjoyed it. I wouldn't like wouldn't say I was over the moon with it, but I still enjoyed it. So I'll probably throw that one in the mix.
what's the movie where it's with Will Ferrell and his life is being narrated by someone? What's that movie called?
Uh oh,
What's up?
it was being narrated by somebody.
Uh,
Because I think that might have been another one where he played a serious role too, and I think
yeah,
like Queen Latifah was in it. Yeah, that one was good too. That one was better than Everything Must Go, in my
Stranger Than
opinion.
Fiction. That's
Yes,
what's called. That
that
was a good
one.
movie, but it wasn't
That was
received
a
well.
good. You are right. I think that one was a lot better than Everything Must Go.
Yeah.
That one was good. I'm actually surprised that one was received not as well as well. So I'll throw that one in there too, I guess. He had another one that I guess also wasn't received well. I still watched it. I didn't receive it that well, but I had to. Casa de mi Padre. Did you
I don't
see?
even think I've heard that one.
It's where he actually talks in Spanish.
Oh, that's gotta be horrible. Dude, Will Ferrell is one of those people
He
that's fun.
talks in Spanish the whole movie, and other people don't.
That's hilarious. Will Ferrell is like one of those people that is willing to take really hard risks because like There's another movie that he played. His name was Sherlock, and it's with John C. Reilly as well.
Yeah,
And that one didn't do too well, but they tried really hard to be something they're not.
I that's honestly where I fell off with my Will Ferrell. Like I supported him for a very long time. That's where I fell off, and I haven't seen anything from him since.
Oddly enough,
Uh,
that's the first movie that I think Bella Ramsey was in.
really?
Yeah, she was one of
That
the
is
like
interesting.
little like London kids, and it was foul mouth, and that's I think where I first liked her as an actress because she's funny.
She did that before even Game of Thrones?
I believe so. I think she was like 9 or 10 years old in that movie.
Wow. That is funny. That
Dude,
is funny.
for someone so young, she's had a pretty interesting career.
Already? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. So yeah, so they're like Will Ferrell kind of has a list of movies that fall into that category for sure.
One person that
Um,
really has a list of really bad movies. Actually, there's two people: Bruce Willis and Jackie Chan. I love Jackie Chan. I am a huge fan of Jackie Chan. I've seen every single movie, even the worst ones, from like Bleeding Steel to Myth and all that stuff. He has a huge history of really bad movies. Like if you look at the ratings, they're just not rateable. I think Rush Hour 1, 2, maybe 3, and High Noon and Shanghai Nights were probably one of his better received ones.
mhm.
Well, the rest of them were not received well. Like Battle and Battle or something, Battle and Battle Brock Creek, or whatever. Rumble in the Bronx. Um, what was it? The Police Story, First Strike, Who Am I? I love all those movies, but they're not rated well.
No, you're right. Not all of this stuff was, but to your point, like I
Spy
hate
Next
to
Door.
I hate to call Jackie Chan cookie cutter, but you know what you're getting when you're watching a Jackie Chan movie. Like, what were you expecting?
It's funny. Jackie Chan's, in my opinion, the best movies he's ever made is when he doesn't do karate and he's very serious. I'm telling you, Police Story 2013, the Shinjuku incident, um, what was it? I think it's called Prison Escape. It's from like 1998 or something like that. It's an older movie. Like those, he does no karate and well, maybe he might do like a fight scene here and there, but it's very few. And it's just more serious tone. Those are the best movies he's ever done, and it's just him being serious the whole time.
Kind
I
of
don't know
him,
why he doesn't do that.
kind of him honing his inner Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal. I don't know how he's still famous, dude. I have you seen
Well,
some
he's
of the
famous because he's like in the news for going around being hanging out with dictators and shit and Putin. That's why he's still famous.
Well, not only that, but the movies he's made, he's so lazy. There's a legit like. So I've seen clips on thanks to TikTok. There's like a 10-minute clip of him fighting in a chair, sitting down. Like he's so lazy he can't even stand up and fight. And I think the one reason why I want to go back to this and going back to Jackie Chan, so the hidden strike with John Cena and Jackie Chan, in the trailer says also by the makers of Expendables 4,
I did
which
see that.
which I thought that was funny that they kind of like teased it because there's been no official trailer for Expendables 4 yet. But
Oh yeah.
I looked up the casting for Expendables 4, and Steven Seagal is in that movie.
Hmm.
So I'm
Hmm.
like, oh my god, that movie is gonna be that's gonna be so trash. Like, how is he gonna compete with? I mean, yes, in like the 80s and 90s, he was huge with a lot of people because he was,
Hmm.
I don't know, they didn't have good content back then.
Hmm.
But like compared to these legends, he should not be in that roster of like cast at all.
Unfortunately, he is kind of though. That's like yeah, like Jean Claude Van Damme.
He was
Here,
good.
here, here's a name that I don't think people. And you know what? Now that I bring up his name, I'm trying to remember if he passed. Jet Li.
No, he's still alive.
Okay, what
He
happened that
he
dude?
well, he's sick. He has
Oh,
some kind of condition where he can't do like I can't remember what he has. He has something with like his muscles and nerves.
mm,
There's something wrong with that.
okay.
Like when
Because
he got
like
diagnosed, he just got
it
hit
went
hard with
south.
age. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he had his level of popularity for a hot minute, right? Like he was kind of serious Jackie Chan, I guess, for a minute, right?
And his movies are much well. Even though I love Jackie Chan, Jet Li's movies are much better than Jackie Chan's.
I'm just saying, like we're throwing out names, right? We're going down memory lane a little bit here, right? So that was another one that I remember, uh, you know, hot stuff, right? So like, and like now you got freaking um, your John Wick guy. And why did I brain fart his name?
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, thank you. Uh, um, who was the other that older guy? Fuck, starting to brain fart everybody's name now. Oh my god. Anyway,
You're not thinking about Bruce Lee, are you?
no, not Bruce. He's gone. He's been gone. No, fucking Oh
Donnie Yen.
no. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. But but yeah, what other movies you got that you like that the world hates?
Well, Expendables is definitely one of those. Like, have you seen all three Expendable movies?
I've never seen one. Just like
So
Sharknado, I've never seen a Sharknado.
I've never seen. I've seen Sharknado 4, but that was because it was an accident and it was on screen after like Shark Week.
Uh-huh.
Um, dude, I don't know how. I think those movies are popular just because they're so stupid.
Oh
Just like the
yeah,
movie
for sure.
Tremors. Have you heard of
I
Tremors?
actually like Tremors.
You like Tremors?
I think I like Tremors 2 more than 1. And then after that I
They got
might have
like
seen.
19 Tremors.
Oh, I know. Now they got like so many.
It's like Sharknado.
They're like Tremors, third grandchild. I think 2 is the best one. Um, but shit, what was I gonna say? Fuck, lost my train of thought. Damn it. But sorry, continue. You go ahead.
What was it? Oh yeah, the Expendables. So the reason I'm bringing Expendables up is because like obviously Expendables 4 has a list of characters, but
Mm-hmm.
even though 1 and 3 were not rated ball, which I still enjoyed, 2
Mm-hmm.
was actually really good, and that wasn't just like criticized ball, which is kind of interesting because like Jean Claude Van Damme is the main villain, and he does a really good job of being the villain.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm surprised that he didn't get like any award for it because he plays what you would think a real mercenary would be like, just straight to the point, kills what he needs to kill, move on, objective forward. And I've never seen a more realistic villain than that.
Didn't they also add Chuck Norris in the last one?
Well, Chuck Norris was in Expendables 2, and the way
Oh, okay.
he came in is that so the whole squad, the Expendables squad, was like pinned down in like this Russian old Soviet base, and the mercenary squad was moving in with tanks and all that stuff. Obviously, they played into the Chuck Norris joke, where Chuck Norris just comes in out of nowhere, obliterates the whole entire army, even the tank, with a grenade launcher. And he was like, "You guys call for backup," and then they're like, "Oh, we need to get this guy." He's like, "Nah, I'm a Lone Ranger."
Yeah, good old Chuck Norris.
But it's just like those movies are so bad, but yet this even the fourth one, even with stupid Steven Seagal, I'm still gonna watch and I'm still gonna enjoy it. They're just they're corny action movies that you're just going in there for like a popcorn flick. You're not gonna see in the movies.
Exactly.
You're just gonna
Yeah.
rent it, enjoy it, and watch it one time and have a laugh.
Yeah. Exactly. I think
But
another.
this, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say another one I throw in the category. Um, although it probably hasn't aged well even with me. If I probably try to sit down and watch it now, I don't know if I'd get through it. But at the time, I didn't really mind Castaway that much. But a lot of
Castaway.
people hate Castaway. Yeah,
Really? They hate
yeah,
Castaway?
yeah. A lot of people hate Castaway. Like, how can you watch a 3-hour movie with a guy stuck on an island all his time? It's not a movie. Blah 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 blah. I liked it,
Oh, dude, I thought that was like one of the
and
best
and
like
actually, it makes me
things.
remember another movie that I liked that probably wasn't received well, and that's called Phone Booth. I don't know if you've heard of that one. Basically, the whole movie revolves around someone trapped in a phone booth. No joke.
Well, that's almost like 127 hours with James Franco when he's trapped in that chasm.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I never watched that one either, but I remember hearing about that one.
That was pretty good. It's not like one of those bad received movies, but it's just like the same thing. I think if it's weird if a dialogue is good, it doesn't matter if the whole movie's set in one place. But
I mean, I liked Castaway because of the psychological aspect of it, right? Like the guy's going mad, right? Because he's by himself. Like I don't know. I have a different level of appreciation than most do, but a lot of people shit on that movie.
oh, dude, I love Castaway. Wilson, dude, some of the injuries he received, like when he's going on the water and he comes across was
Oh,
that reef and he stabs his thigh area. Oh
I mean, so
man.
many things, or his cavity, and he's like using the
Oh,
fucking yeah. Oh,
oh
did
yeah,
you?
when he's using the ice skate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, that I
That
yeah.
they kind of extracted himself.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
how he did that because, like, I feel like even with the ice skate stuff, if he popped it out, he would cut his gums and cause an infection.
yeah, yeah.
But no, that I'm surprised that wasn't received well because that was a good movie. It's the best maroon movie you ever see.
I mean, like, I think if you look at it like review wise, it's probably still like high, but a lot of people do verbally shit on it because of just the concept of it, and it's like you're you're not appreciating the other things about it other than the concept of it. So, like I said, for me, it's like the whole psychological thing.
I do think it's funny that the guy, well, what was it, Tom Hanks? He plays a FedEx delivery guy in that movie, and that's how he gets cast away.
Yeah. So
It's also a good survival movie because, like, what was it? The packages that he was delivering on that boat, or what was it a boat or was it a plane? I forgot
that
how he
was a
gets trapped there.
plane. That was a plane.
Like all the packages that were in that plane also washed ashore, and he
Mm,
uses most of those items to survive. And
yeah.
I think that's like the best like MacGyverish movie you're gonna get. That he just utilizes all sources
Yeah.
at his disposal.
Until he has to go to court and fight his way out for opening federal or just opening mail, people's personal mail.
Oh, final movie that I can think of,
Okay.
and I'm picking on Jackie Chan too much. I love him so much, but like I said, he has so many bad movies.
It is what it is.
The Forbidden Kingdom. The movie that everyone was waiting for because it had both legends, Jet Li and Jackie Chan, in the same movie,
Mm,
and it did really, really bad.
yeah, I
I'm
think I
not.
kind of recall that,
It came out in 2010.
but I don't think. Yeah, I mean, there's a plethora of Jackie Chan movies I haven't seen, of course, um, but yeah,
It's just kind of funny that they made a fantasy movie and they put the two martial arts legends in there, and they made them side characters. And then Jet Li somehow he's like a monk, and then he dies in the movie, and then comes back as the Monkey King, and which I think is like, when people want to sprout racism, it's like the fact that they made him the Monkey King, which that's what they kind of associate Asians to mostly because of their climbing abilities. But I thought that was funny that they put him there, and then Jackie Chan is just a drunken old man. But it's just, yeah, it's a bad movie, but I still enjoy it. And the white guy that's in there, he's a dude from Sky High, which is another movie I enjoy, but is not received well.
yeah, I don't think I've ever even heard of that one.
It's
Or
with
even know.
you never seen Sky High?
I don't even know who this white dude is you're even speaking of. I mean, if I probably see him, like, oh, that dude, but
I can't remember his name. I just call him White Dude because he's a white dude. But in Sky High, he was also pretty good. It's about a movie of like kids in high school that have superpowers, and
mm,
Kurt Russell is the Superman of their world, and
mm,
his wife, and they kind of go in there, and it turns out the their nemesis like doesn't age, and she's at the high school kind of like dating the son, and then she takes over and tries to be the supervillain, whatever. It's a good cheesy film, but that's another bad movie I enjoy.
gotcha.
There's just
Oh,
so many bad movies that are good.
of course, and I'm sure we're missing a plethora. So hopefully, anyone from the community will be able to chime in and share with us their um, shitty movies that they love. I guess would be the one way of putting it. So.
With Forrest Gump, no, Forrest Gump wouldn't be there. I think that's
Oh,
rated
well,
well.
so to that point, like there is, a bunch of people out there that dislike Forrest Gump as well. But I mean, that's my favorite movie of all time. Like,
It's
I
my
love that.
favorite movie too, but I think that's also rated well too, so that doesn't count.
No, it is rated well for sure. I mean, same thing like Titanic. Titanic is made so much money, rated well, but there's maybe they're just loud minorities. I don't know that will shit on it.
I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
heard one person like dislike Titanic.
Oh no, there's believe me.
Most people are not in
Go
my
go go
circle.
on go on Twitter.
It's
You'll
funny.
find it.
Titanic is even in like the top 100 of my favorite movies, but I still like it. It's weird that I've never heard anyone dislike it.
No, I know I've heard
I'm not
people
saying
say
that there
it.
isn't, but I'm just saying it's weird that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't seen it
yeah.
because it
Gotcha,
is a
gotcha.
long, boring romantic movie that usually I don't like. But
Yeah,
you
I
got to paint
mean,
me like one of your French women.
yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about. That's all I learned from that movie. But yeah, I'm trying to think if anything else really, because I know I'm gonna kick myself in the ass later. Like, oh, this is the one. Like if I probably go look at my DVD collection really quickly, I could probably pull one out. Uh,
All right, to wrap this part up because like there's so
yep.
many. So I told you what my favorite worst movie is. That's Forbidden
Yes.
Kingdom. What is your favorite worst movie? If you didn't see it already.
Mm, out of the list that we gave, because like my favorite, I kind of like put that like I could watch it time and time and time again, and I don't think Warcraft fits in that category, even though I've watched it. I've probably watched it enough times. Hell, I saw it in theaters probably 3 times, surprisingly, which doesn't happen with a lot of movies. Um, I don't want to use it as the cop out. I don't know. Good question. Even though you narrowed it down to what we talked about, but still hard for me to say. Probably still Howard the Duck, just because of my childhood.
Okay, I'll accept that. So wait, hold on. You went to see Warcraft in
The
theaters three
movie,
times.
I believe so. Two
Has there
times for sure, but I think it might have been 3.
has there been any other movie that's been close to that? Because not even
Oh
Super
yeah.
Mario's gotten you close.
Well, Super Mario I've only seen once.
All right.
The original Pokemon movie, honestly, I probably went 5 or 6 times.
Now let's be real. Did you really go for the movie? Did you go for the pack of cards that you got?
Well, there was an incentive there, but I did actually sit for the whole movie.
So my mom and aunt probably hate me and my cousin for this, but we've seen the Yu-Gi-Oh movie that came out like 2004 or 5 like 9 times. But that's because we were so fixated on getting those packet of cards to complete the movie
Yeah,
collection.
yeah,
And yeah, we seen it 9 times just so we can go get those packets every time. Little
yeah.
did we
No,
know that my it was either my mom or my aunt already had the packs already, and they didn't tell us about it because they're always handing it out to
uh,
us because apparently you can ask and they'll just give it to you.
yeah,
And so they just took us to movies to shut us up.
nice. That's cool. Yeah, I think honestly that first Pokemon was probably the movie I paid to go see the most of any other movie.
I was too young to go see that movie
Yeah,
because it was
it's
I
a
was pretty
shame.
much 0 years old.
Like I think even my mom probably went with us multiple times to see it because she'll tell you straight up that she cried,
Oh,
which
with the
I
Ash
think most
scene.
people, yeah, which I was anybody could probably predict which scene it was. So
I just want to give props to Ash in that movie. So if everybody sees Ash as a little kid, this man has superhuman strength to lift. What was it? I forgot what Pokemon he lifts, but it's like a 600-pound Pokemon, and he lifts him over his head and throws it with ease. And he could block Mewtwo's attacks. No human could feasibly do that without getting
oh,
killed.
he technically did die. He didn't block the attack.
Well,
He took it and he
he,
died.
he took four physical attacks from Mewtwo and got flung across the wall and got hit multiple times. Survived. It wasn't until he took the
To
combination blast
the
of Mew
shadow
and
ball, pretty
Mewtwo,
much.
and
Yeah,
it was both legendary Pokemon. He took both
yeah,
their attacks head on
yeah,
without
yeah.
blocking, and that's what killed him.
And he didn't really die. He kind of got petrified.
And then Pikachu, pew, and it like basically ding defibrillators on him to bring him back.
That was sad though. It really was because like here's poor Pikachu trying to, as you say,
Choo
defibrillators
choo.
try to resurrect him, and and it wasn't working, and you're like, oh shit. like, can you imagine though, like when it was like first released, nobody in the world has seen it yet, right? Like it's the hot shit, and that happens, and you're like not knowing what the future holds for Pokemon. Like
You're like, is
it
this
was
the end of the main character?
exactly. You're like, holy shit! Like what is going on here? Like as a kid, like I didn't cry. Um, because I guess as a kid, I mean, I wasn't a kid. Shit, how old was I? Probably a teenager, maybe.
You were 12 years old.
No.
How old are you? 37?
Oh, now? Yeah, 38. Yeah, 37, but 38.
So you're only
Um,
10 years older than me, so you would have to be 10. Because didn't the movie come out in like 1996 or 1998?
make me Google
If it was
this.
98, you'd be 12. If it was 96, you'd be 10.
98. So I was 15. So yeah, I was a teenager.
Okay.
Because like I remember Pokemon being hot, like super super hot. Like I don't want to say in its pinnacle because it's still fucking doing super well. But like I remember being eighth grade and like Pokemon cards were like the jam, right? Um, so yeah, I was 15 apparently. Um,
I got lucky that I was so that means I was 2 years old when that movie came out, and at 4 years old the movie came out like Blockbuster, and for some reason they have a promotion where they also had the cards, and I think that's how I
yeah,
got all my WB cards.
yeah, they did do like a re-release, and not only that, then well, when you bought the DVD, you know there was another promo and all that good jazz. I want to say Dragonite was one of them at
Yeah,
that
the
point,
Flying
but
Dragonite with the mail
right,
carrier. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think so, right? Um, but yeah, so like I didn't cry because like, I mean, I guess you could say at that age you should have or you do have a larger concept of life and death, but it didn't hit me like that. But I guess when my mom being, you know, a parent or whatever, it did. But when I did watch Detective Pikachu, I did tear up, even though that wasn't the same type of death. But just the reveal of the father's thing, like I don't know, it touched me. Like I don't care.
You didn't
I'll
tear
admit
up.
it.
I was next to you the whole time during that movie.
I teared up.
Okay, I wasn't really looking at you though, but
I teared up. Uh, but like I said, I guess that comes with age or whatever. So even though I don't have kids of my own, but like with age, like well, obviously I have like I still have aspirations of being a father or whatever. So like I can now, I guess, in some capacity, mentally think as if I was, rather than being a teenager. You're not really thinking of those type of things. So
I think I might be a psycho. Because usually whenever those happen, I have a smile on my face. Because I'm just like, oh, that's a reveal right there. And like, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen next? But I'm like,
you,
that shouldn't be the
you
right response.
yeah, probably not.
Because like, in Avatar 2, there's a sequence that probably would have made a lot of people cry because, you know, the humans are coming down. They're just obliterating a whole forest and animals and all that stuff. And I'm just over there smiling. I'm like, dude, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And really, it's just a whole village being massacred. What is it? Detective Pikachu calling you?
No, remember I said I have like family
Oh yeah.
um, plans are kind of or happening per se, so I missed a phone call, but I'll call him right when we're done with this pod. So,
Okay. And then after this, you're gonna have a picnic on that shirt.
so to that point, that's a good it's a good explanation. I was gonna say or ask, does this shirt make you want pizza?
No, it makes me want to just put it down on the ground by a tree and have a picnic.
There you go. Funny. Every time I wear it, I feel like I'm going to go like deliver pizza or something. Like
Yeah, like
I
at
don't know.
Giordano's or whatever, you just see like
Yeah,
the red cloth thing.
yeah, yeah. So for those that don't have the benefit of the visual, I'm wearing a small white and red checkered um, button down basically, and it's probably not appealing on most eyes either, but whatever.
It's actually not that bad. There's not a lot of people that can pull off the Where's Waldo shirt, but you can do it well.
Although Where's Waldo is more like
Yeah,
big
line.
lines, but
Where's
yeah.
Where's Pizza Boy?
Where's Pizza Boy?
It's funny. I didn't associate it. Like I do know that the tablecloths kind of look like that, but I'm thinking
No,
about
you're
like
right. No, you're right. That actually is a better description of it for sure, hands down. Totally.
I kind of want to get myself a picnic shirt.
But
Anytime you go to a picnic or a pizza place, you have to wear that shirt. It's a must.
I have, I've never been one to, initiate fashion, but here I am. Get your picnic basket T-shirt.
Hey, boo boo, you got a picnic basket here for you?
Hey, boo boo. Uh-oh.
I don't think Google liked Hey Boo Boo.
Hey, boo boo.
Hey Boo Boo, we got some picnic basket here for you.
I guess you're right.
It doesn't like the word.
Oh, that's so great.
But do you have any
Uh,
more to add before this thing over here gets mad for me saying, the B word?
um, no, I don't think so. No, I ain't got nothing.
I'm just happy that my internet lasted. Like, I really thought it was going to cut out at least a couple times, and it
That's
hasn't.
good. Yeah, for those that didn't know, well, I mean, you made mention of it a little bit on the pod, but Josh was very scared that our pod would have technical difficulties like it normally does. So kudos to, I guess, us. No technical difficulties.
As for those that don't know, for some reason Comcast in my area has just been littered with outages for this whole week, and today was no exception. But I guess I got lucky and passed the storm.
Cool. Yeah,
Well,
2 hours plus, man. Like, that's great.
yeah, and we basically did it all with having no idea what we're talking about. I think this is really one of the first episodes we just completely pulled something out of our ass just to talk about it.
And it worked and felt good. I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
We've gotten so good at BSing that it just happens.
Yup. That's true.
All right, but I guess we could wrap this up because I do want to play more Destiny. I know you want to play some Diablo.
Yeah, I'll probably put an hour in. It's probably all I got really left in me for tonight. But yeah, I mean, I feel like continuing this as we just let the viewers know BS and the podcast. We kind of feel like we're a little bit on borrowed time since we haven't had any disconnects. So yeah, we can wrap it up for the week. We'll be back next week, hopefully with a lot of better topics. I mean, like we kind of alluded to, some new games did come out as we shared. Diablo 4 is out live now. Street Fighter 6 is slowly on the way, and I'm sure there's some
Slowly
other
on the
things that we
way.
can talk
We're
about.
literally 2 hours away from launch.
It's not okay, whatever. And so yeah, we probably definitely have a little bit of a lot to talk about next week.
Actually, one thing that might happen, if a little spoiler, I'm gonna flip a coin tonight, and I'm gonna see
Okay.
which one I'm gonna buy. It's either Street Fighter 6 or Diablo 4.
Oh, you're buying Street Fighter 6.
Okay, it's been settled.
I will advocate for you to probably buy Street Fighter 6.
Dude, Cammy is a seller, man. Have you seen Cammy?
You know what uh I have, but not like to the point of I'm jerking off to her, seeing her. But
I
what
haven't
I
got to that
did
point
see,
either, but
okay,
she's
we
still
got to that
thick.
point.
You
But
can
what I
admire
did
beauty.
see, what I did see, and it was also today is I don't know if they released it today, that for like the original 8 or almost close to original 8, they have their retro costumes. So Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Blanca, Zangief, Guile, E Honda. I
Well,
think
isn't Ken
those
in the
were,
game?
huh?
Isn't Ken in the game?
I thought that was the second one I said. Did I skip him?
Oh, he probably
I
said it. I
thought,
just wasn't. I don't know.
yeah.
Sometimes he out the ear.
My bad. Yeah. So, and then, well, but those are the originals. But then they also showed Cammy and DJ in their original outfits, and that's when I saw Cammy. Nice.
You could tell they spent a lot of time on the character model.
Yeah. For sure.
Like the physics, jiggly.
Yeah. But no, I think if I may answer for you, I would probably still say go with Street Fighter 6. Something tells me you would probably get more value immediately through Street Fighter 6 than Diablo 4. I
Yeah.
think Diablo 4 will be like a wait and see. Let's see how um, I dare I say, more reviews come out, or what the community says within 1 or 2 weeks' time, and then you could kind of decipher it off of that. So, but for all those out there, once again, since we did BS this podcast, what are you guys looking forward to? You picking up either of those games? Both of those games? Other games?
Stack
Let us
month
know.
well, I was about to say stack month
Well,
this month, but
we're technically in June.
yeah,
We're technically in June, so it is a stack
Diablo,
month.
Street Fighter,
16,
Final Fantasy
Final Fantasy
16,
16, and I know
Crash
there's
Team
more.
Rumble, the biggest game of all.
There you go. And I know there's more. I know there's more. So.
But yes, as we say every episode, thank you so much for watching. This has been the Automatic Podcast. We'll see you next Thursday. I was gonna say Friday, next Thursday, and we'll talk about games. Peace.
And then some.
And then
Deuces.